I'm trying to get it right now. I've never done a test in my life, really. I done one once with a recharge, and I ended up going out and buying new headphones. And is that better now, Tommy? Tommy's saying it's too low for him.
Actually, no, it was a bit too loud. I've got
That's
the
too
same.
loud.
Yeah, just knock it.
Look at Mark. He's just about to finish work. He's so fortunate.
It's tough for some, isn't it? Here am I talking, lying on the couch talking to you.
All right, Tommy, is that okay now, or is that too low?
To me, that's spot on. I got the cans on, same spot, same output level as normal. So
yeah, you're perfect, but you always are perfect. But as I say, you are a professional. There's a massive difference.
I just got to I got to get this shit right for a living sometimes, mate.
Yeah. I suppose it does help, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, you just get used to it.
Yeah, I must admit, I went to see Gladiator. Do you remember when Gladiator came out?
Yeah,
that 20 years ago. That come out, and in the fighting scene when he was fighting the old champion. There's one scene there when he was fighting the old champion and had some close-up fighting. And I always remember that. I thought, well, whoever done that editing, that's not. It was too flashy in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
It was the armor, I think, what done it. It was just too much.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's always a fight between producers, directors, cutters, or editors, and the sound guys, and now you got VFX guys as well. It's that's why I like working with Nolan and stuff like that, where there's no green screens; it's all practical effects. You get what you get.
Well, we're looking good for the old Thai bar anyway, aren't we? So it's all going the right way, hopefully.
Yeah, I was actually gonna give you a call tomorrow and see how things are rolling.
Okay, yeah, fine, not a problem there. I'll get it ready. You just let me know what currencies you want, and I'll do some charts for you.
Yeah, no worries.
You might as well just cash them in at the top because it makes sense, cash them in at the top of that wave, if you know what I mean. Because it makes a lot of difference over the year.
Yeah,
by me cashing in each month on the Waveley month. So I don't have a set date to bring money over. So I look at the wave through the month, and when it gets to a peak, that's when I bring it over every month or thereabouts.
It'd be silly to stick to a date because it could be the bottom of a wave. Yeah.
Well, that's the trouble. You end up. It is cost averaging, but you're just better off. I just believe getting as much money as you can.
Absolutely. Only on this planet for a short amount of time. Might as well.
Hello, Richard. How you doing? I've put a link. Hello, gorgeous Thailand. I'm just doing sound tests with. I'm doing, before early CCP take my whole channel down from my video this morning. So.
Yeah, I thought that was a giggle this morning. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they'll take me down for that. Honestly, seriously. No, it wasn't me saying it was just other YouTube creators, and that guy I follow, he never says buy the share, sell the share.
No, it's not advice.
He's a really sensible guy to listen to, and he won't take no. When people say, "Oh, will you promote this share or will you promote this crypto?" He won't do it. He just refuses to do it. And he does all that himself, and he's like, he obviously must trade at home, but he don't actually earn money off of YouTube as such. Yeah. When I looked on his YouTube, when I looked at his the social play for YouTube, it said he was earning somewhere around the region of, I think it was about $50 or $200 a month or something stupid.
Yeah,
but his content's actually worth a lot more than that, I think.
Yeah, a lot of people like that. Yeah, for sure. But that's YouTube for you. So
I know. Yeah, I know. It's really tough at the moment, Richard. There's so many people getting laid off at the moment. It's crazy. It's a crazy world out there at the moment. It's and the markets are looking absolutely horrendous for today.
Yeah. I had a look this morning after after your show this morning and stuff like that, I was just picking through some of the stuff and just going, damn, it's all over the place.
Yeah, I reckon we're ready for a massive crash of some sort. But I keep on saying that anyway, so I've got to be right one day.
Yeah, that's right. Say something often enough, it's just going to happen, eh?
Yeah.
It's like winning the lotto.
Yeah. Hopefully, Richard will get a job soon, hopefully. It's, hopefully he'll get a... hopefully he will get a nice remote job and he can come over here then.
Definitely the best plan. Yeah.
It's the way to go, isn't it?
It certainly is, mate.
Joe bought 2 Bitcoin at 20. I'd sell them, Joe. I reckon they're going to 18, so they're definitely going to retrace to 22, take the profit where you got it. I don't think they're going to go above 25. They can't break the resistance level. It's gone up and down, up and down, up and down. It's 25, comes straight down. So, I can't see it going past it.
No.
My Bitcoin, I'm so far behind. Even if it goes to 20, I'm still 28 grand behind on that one. Lucky enough, I've only got one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please don't follow me. You will be bankrupt.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Well, you can't get more right, can you? Mine's Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, goodness.
I've already said the one. I said, you can have that. When she's 21 and I'm dead, I think no doubt it might reach 48 again, so she can sell it and make no money over fucking 28 years.
Yeah, but in real term, what's it going to be worth? 48 might buy you 2 loaves of bread.
Well, if inflation stays at 4%, not a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Really not a lot.
Oh,
if inflation stays at 4%, if that stays the new normal over 25 years, $1 million in 25 years would only be worth 350,000.
Yeah, I was going to say about 300k.
Yeah, 350,000. Yeah, I've done the numbers on it. Yes, that's the reason why I know. No, because I was trying to forecast, because I like to do my numbers each April to make sure I've got enough money to last me till I'm 85.
Yeah.
So every year I actually do my numbers. So that's any pensions I've got coming, all my investments, all my assets. Well, I've got no assets here. My wife owns it all, so that's not included. So I add up all my worldly assets, put them all together. So inflation stays at 4%, so they rise by 4%. But the trouble is the value of money goes down by 4%, and that's the problem.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah. Neutral or backwards. Yeah.
Yes, it. Well, Gorgeous Thailand's bought 100 baht in weight in gold yesterday. So 100 baht in gold yesterday would have cost him just over 3 million. Yeah, that would cost him 3 million for that, for 100 baht in gold yesterday, or thereabouts. It might cost like 2.9. Lucky. Hope you bought it in 1 baht bars rather than the 10 baht, because when you buy them in 10 baht bars, they're very hard to get rid of, because not everyone's got like 300,000 sitting around, hanging around in their pocket.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Richard, I mentioned that in my live show the other day about Bank of America. I was looking at their share price, and I know Warren Buffett owns it, but fuck me, it looks frightening. That looks really, really. That looked like a short to me. I would just short it, but I don't short, so I don't use leverage. But Joe would know more. What are you saying, Joe? Joe, come on in, Joe. Give us the what's the FX looking like for dollar to Thai baht? Because you're far better expert on it than me. I have a government super, so the same political leaders make them feel like the same. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, the trouble with political leaders, all they want to do, whether it's left or right, they only do stuff that suits themselves. you know. Oh, 100 times at $1. Oh, right, okay. I thought you'd put 100 times in gold. So, yeah, 100. Who's that? Is that me?
Yeah, Mark, you're the government superannuation that you were just noting there. I've been watching the goings on
anyway,
over the last couple of days. Sorry, I was just talking to Mark about the Australian government superannuation. They're trying to do all sorts of weird things with the money and bits and pieces, and depending on how much you've got, tax-free thresholds and all the rest of the stuff at the moment. They're trying to mess with our money, and well, it's like, yeah, okay. So it'll be interesting to see.
I think they'll
see what comes out of that over time.
All right. Okay, no problem. My wife's gone down to the beach to tidy up the beach.
Sounds like a good plan.
She does it most days. She takes Anna down there, like tidying up the beach, and they have little bonfires down there. So any rubbish on the beach, but I'm looking at the beach today, it's quite bad. It normally is in the winter because we have like winter storms. They're not really heavy storms as such. They're not the same storms as what you get like the Atlantic storms or anything. But we do get storms here, which wash up a lot of rubbish.
Yeah, I was going to say it's all washed up stuff and not people's garbage. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's generally from fucking Indonesia. When you go down and pick up all the bottles, they're all from Indonesia.
Right. Yeah.
Because Indonesia is the biggest pollutant in the Southeast Asia. They're throwing 600 million tons of plastic into the sea per year.
Is that all? Oh goodness, not much, eh? Bloody hell.
Yeah. Well, it's a Muslim country, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. What we got there? Even gold doesn't go up much. It won't depreciate as cash does. That's correct. Yeah, gold doesn't go up much, but what it does is it preserves your wealth. So, so if you look at somewhere like Turkey at the moment, if you had a 1 ounce of gold in Turkey 4 years ago, in Turkey that's now worth 5 times its value.
Yeah.
Today.
Unlike their money, just worth nothing.
Yeah. Their money's just. Apparently, I had friends going to Turkey a few months ago, and they went into a restaurant, and they made them pay for their meal as they sat down.
Wow.
And they said why? And they said because the meal will probably go up if you don't pay.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
The world's in a mess. It really is.
Yeah. I think down at Utapole, Mark, they've got no clangs down. They've got no rivers going into the sea, so that's why it stays cleaner. Yeah, exactly. She goes down there and she picks up all the shit on the beach. Seriously, that's what she does. Go down there, piles it all up in little piles, and just generally cleans the beach. She really enjoys cleaning the beach. My missus, she's not, she's been to a few restaurants recently because she likes Meow and AJ, and they bloody dragged her into a spa the other day as well. Which she went in kicking. Really, snow in San Francisco the next 2 days. Wow,
blimey!
Wow, I was when I lived there, the only thing I ever saw was rain. It was the coldest summer I'd ever had. People talk about English summers, but the summers in San Francisco's, you get that bloody fog in the summer. It's really cold. Yeah, we walked the dog down there. This way it's deserted. Yeah, it's nice down there. I like it down there, but I like it down the other end. Like east of East Rayon. I like those beaches down there. I know you do. Yeah. Yeah, it was 4,000 a baht in 1990. Yeah, so it's now going for 29. Yeah, but you could buy a condo here quite cheap in 1990, I believe, as well. So.
Yeah, I reckon you would have. Blimey.
Yeah, I think you could buy a condo then for about like 150,000. I think. Jeez. 35 degrees in Melbourne next 2 days. Wow. Yeah, the local government will have you on fucking lockdown again.
Yeah. Yeah, again.
Reshot, 89 degrees. Tommy, what, in Austin? Yeah, bloody hell. Did you notice that, Tommy? When I done my little video ad, I put the time for Austin in there for you. I was thinking of you, so I thought I'll put Austin time up. I could have used like Texas or whatever, but I just thought I'd use Austin.
Yeah, I noticed you put the Aussie times in there for us. Thank you.
That sounds like it's really warm down in Australia, but you're coming towards the end of your summer now, aren't you?
Just starting to roll off summer, but we get some weird peaks at the end, storms and bits and pieces. But we had 36, 38 last week, and it's back down to comfortable low 30s at the moment. So it's quite nice. Doors open, fans on. I can tell when it gets hot because the computers, I can hear the fans start to ramp up, which is just like very unusual for Apple.
Yeah, look at my cat. Look how big he's getting now.
Blimey.
Is he fully grown now?
Yeah.
And he's spoilt.
Of course.
It's ain't wrong with my camera. You're right there, cat. Oh, he's gonna bite me. Yeah. Honestly, it's so good when you come here. If you get yourself a soy cat, there's so many of them. They're brilliant.
Yeah, plenty to choose from.
But the trouble is, you can't take the wildness out of them because they're a little bit mad, Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon about the Ty Bartling, Joe? Any luck? Do you reckon we're? I haven't looked at it. I've just been looking. I cashed in some gold last week for the first time ever since 1980. That's the first time I've ever sold gold.
Yeah, you were saying, yeah. That's a new
big
low,
statement for me. That is.
Yeah.
Because when I'm looking at John and Jim's truck, I'm thinking, how many grams of gold that going to cost me? And when I look at it, I think. And then they say, well, it's 900,000. And I think, well, I can buy an apartment here for less than that.
Yeah.
So I'm always like this with spending money. But my parents are the same. So maybe I'll get it from my mum and dad. It could be. What do you think? Because my mum and dad are still like it now at 88.
Yeah, my mum and dad were the same. I pretty much followed their path.
Yeah.
Get what I need.
Yeah, like my mum and dad, they drive around in a. I think the car's about 7 years old.
Oh, that's nothing. Bloody hell! I've had one new car in my life.
Oh right, okay.
That was the worst thing I ever did. It's just like, it's like driving a bucket of money and dumping it in the gutter as soon as you drive it out the yard. But it was a one-off special, so it was just like, lash out.
If I bought a car, it would be my last one, so I wouldn't be buying another one anyway, I wouldn't. So on that side of it is tempting.
Well, mate, when I came back to Australia, the year before all this COVID bullshit started, I just needed a set of wheels, and I got a mate of mine that he's head mechanic at a car yard. I said, "Oh, what do you got that's been traded?" And he said, "Oh, not much. Oh, hang on, we got one coming in next week, and it's a Mitsubishi Challenger." And I'm like, "Challenger?" It's just like, I didn't remember the name. Been out west all its life. It's got 200,000 Ks on it. One owner, had everything done to it. Cost me $1,500, including the registration, and it's got LPG.
Oh,
and the thing runs like a top. It's just like, when I leave again shortly, and it's just like, I'm just going to give it to someone. It's like, it's not even worth going through the paperwork to get it, transferred and all the rest of it. It's just like, yeah, take it away. $1,500 was $1,000, $500 for the reg.
Yeah, exactly. But cars here are so expensive, they're really. I think Mark will buy one when he comes back, But it'd be the same thing for Mark when he comes back. He'd probably buy one. It'd probably be his last one, but he'd probably buy something nice. I think he'd buy a Fortuna. Although Mark, I really do. I actually prefer the Isuzu to the Fortuna because they've still got the 3 litre. They've got the 3 litre automatic SUV. It's about 1.6 million, and it's very, very nice.
Yeah, well, that Isuzu 3 litre, from what I hear, that thing's like way, way old in its iterations. So it's like there ain't no bugs in it anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, they are a little bit basic, but when you're in the new ones, it feels like you're in a new car, and everything works on it, and you've got the big, Android system or Apple system on there, whatever you prefer.
Oh, you can change all that, but I mean the driveline and the underneath stuff. I mean that's
it's solid.
What counts. Yeah.
Yeah. Because basically they're a what's it called? They're a truck, aren't they? They're a truck company rather than a car company. So they build everything really solid.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they build a lot of trucks, cars for a lot of other companies. So they know their stuff.
Yeah, on the Toyota Cross, Mark, my neighbour's got one. He went to Turkey for 3 months last year. That's why I know about the Turkey stuff. He went to Turkey last year, and he actually gave me his car for 3 months, and he just said, use it. Because it was an hybrid, and he didn't want to leave it laying there for 3 months. Because hybrids don't like laying around for 3 months.
No.
I was using it, and it was absolutely fantastic. I tell you, it was so economical, but you feel like you're driving in a bigger car when you're driving in that Toyota Cross. And I think they're about $1 million. I don't think they're that expensive. I think we've definitely got to look at, if I do buy a car, I will definitely be looking at something with probably a smaller engine, because I can only see fuel prices going up.
Well, not going to go down anytime soon. Well, although the airlines this morning are all sprouting that the airfares are going to start coming down soon because of the price of aviation is supposed to be going down.
Yeah.
So I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. So to me, I think a lot of these corporations are just profit taking.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Joe's saying, Chris, if you need to move some money, move it now.
Yeah, I did that
a few days ago.
It was about a fortnight ago.
Yeah.
Writing was on the wall.
Yeah. Well, generally, what I do is I move the money into Wise, and I just leave it there till I want to. I move it into Wise, and I convert it into Wise when I want to convert it, and then I send it. I just find it easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got a warning. I got a warning letter off of Wise last year? About a year ago. It was a year ago when Russia invaded Ukraine. Yeah. So what in Wise you can convert to other currencies. So I convert. What I'd done was they when they invaded, their currency crashed, went straight down. I think it lost about, I can't remember what it was on 40 or 60%. So I swapped the money over to rubles, and then about 4 weeks later, I converted it back to Thai baht. So I was going from US dollars to rubles. I was going US dollars, rubles to Thai baht. And they sent me an email saying, if you ever do this again, we are taking your account away. We are not a trading platform for you.
It's funny. It's probably in the fine print somewhere, but who reads that?
I just didn't know it. I didn't realise it. I thought, that's good, where you can change from currency to currency. But when I'd done it, I should have really thought about it. Really, I suppose I was being a little bit cheeky, but I did get caught. Yeah.
Well,
it will go. He's saying it will go down to 33.75. Okay, that's fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've already transferred my money over this month. I took it. I got just under 34, I think. Can't remember. I got 34, wherever it was. But I've done it earlier in the month, so no need to do it till next month. That's a whole new game next month. It just worries me today. I'm looking at these financial charts and the financial information coming out, and it ain't looking good.
No, it's not a pretty sight.
No, I say, well, when good people like Richard lose their job, it's
sucks.
It's a downer, isn't it?
It sure is. Yeah.
Like Mark's really lucky because Mark's got a cracking job. So
yeah. When you're on a contract,
he's a gunslinger. He's a gunslinging contractor.
That's the one. Trust me, it's the only way to be these days, eh?
Oh man, I think it's the only way to go. The gunslinging thing. Can you see your my Nightbot's putting up advertising your channel here for Thursday nights?
Oh, is it? Okay. Fair enough. Oh, jeez, hang on. That's tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell, I better come up with something to talk about then.
Oh, I'm trying to think. Well, I'll tell you what, that was interesting. What I heard yesterday was the food shortages in the UK.
Yeah, like people can't buy even the basics at the moment in some places. A lot of the places, the big markets and that.
Yeah. Mark thinks that's funny, that comment. Well, it's true. I always remember when I was contracting, and I was doing this like a 32-week contract. And the contracts were nowhere as long as yours, Mark. It was only like 32 weeks. That was like the longest contract I do was 6 months. Just over 6 months, and it was crazy. So the next contract was coming up, and they was talking about daily rates, and I was going to see the other guys who were on the same contract as me, and they go, "Don't talk to us. Talk to Tom. Talk to Tom. Don't talk to us." Anyway, so they come to me and they said, Tom, we're doing this contract, but it's not the same as the last one, so we need to pay you less. And I said, well, what you got to understand is, boys, I don't get no holiday off you guys. Yeah, I don't get no pension off you guys. I'm getting no benefits whatsoever. All I am is a gunslinger. I just go to the highest bidder. So you can recruit me and I'll work for that thing if I've got no rate. But if another job comes in, I might not be staying to the end of the project.
Yeah, that's it.
In other words, pay me the money. Loads of money.
Yeah, that's right. Same thing.
I bet you scored a 10 mark on your performance review. He's just done his performance review. I love it.
I love that. That's great.
People don't. He's in a great position there. He's in a great position, and he deserves it. Because he's a good guy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love it. I love it when the corporations are pay. Let the Spaniards pay. That's what I say. Have you got any Spanish bosses yet, Mark? I'll give you a few sayings for them if you want. A good one's Ostia. It's a great saying. Yeah, I know you're doing a great job. You're professional anyway, because that's the thing. What a lot of these companies don't realise is as well. A lot of the guys like Chris and yourself, and even me, people like Richard or Joe. Most of these people were just here today, just chatting. When we're actually working, we're really dedicated to what we're doing. And
that's right. I disappear for days at a time, and people, what the hell are you doing? Well, I'm working my ass off. Same thing.
You still taking work off the big boys, or you still working independently?
Doing the independents, but I drew the line in the sand with the big boys, as you know. And I said, if you're in the poop, I'll get you out of it, but it ain't going to be cheap. And well, there's been a couple of those of late, so that's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I ain't complaining. Just go work out where to put the money.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if they're paying you got to do it, haven't you? No, Mark said he's got to meet his CEO. He's Spanish, and I bet you, no doubt, Mark, he's a great guy. No, he might want to take you for a meal. If you want to go for a meal, try and find like a Greek place for him, because he'll love that. All my Spanish friends, they all love Greek food as well, but they don't eat Italian or anything really. But they do really enjoy the Greek because they love that hummus. Every one of them's loved hummus.
Yeah, I like it too. It's not
Yeah, I love it. I love Greek. Oh, here comes Mark. He's going to tell us.
All right.
Buenos dias. Oh, buenos tardes.
Uno momento, por favor.
I got to go quiet just for a sec. I got Spanky on the phone, mate.
Okay, no problem.
That's the only Spanish that I know. So
you don't say hostia to him, for fuck's sake. That's what it basically means.
I picked it up off watching Seinfeld. My Spanish. That's about it.
The funniest one I ever got was a guy who I was at this harbour, and this guy pulled into this like harbour, and he jumps off this massive bloody yacht. English guy, very well spoken, and he's like that. He's probably dead now, God bless him. It was about 40 years ago. But I was sitting there just having a coffee, as you do. And he jumped off and he sat down and he said to one of his friends, "Yes, I talk Spanish." He said to him, and I said, "Oh, that's nice." And then the waitress come up and he went, "I have one of those Cafe Grande solos or whatever you call it." That was it. I nearly choked on my coffee. It was quite funny.
Yeah, Joe, I'm sitting in the bog at the moment, mate. So it's the only quiet time I can get.
Yeah. Well, they specially design these booths for you, Mark, don't they, for communicating?
Yeah, they're little quiet rooms. They're what, 1.5 meters by 1.5 meters or something, and double thickness glass, and so where you can bugger off to and have a quiet chat and stuff. So otherwise, it's all the offices now are open plan offices, but they put in a couple of different size little rooms like this, and then next door there's a couple of bigger ones with little tables and chairs on them. But I've just got a desk and a chair here. That's all I got. So yeah, but it's somewhere you can go. That looks like a
nice watch. That's a nice watch. Is that a new watch?
No, this is my Tissot. So this is the one I bought. I bought when I was in Austria. So
all right.
But it's my everyday work watch. But I do want to swap them around a bit because I've got a couple of other nice ones that I like to wear as well.
That's my everyday work watch.
Yeah, I can't see because I'm
titanium.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a titanium, 100% titanium. It's a titanium watch. It's one of the first solar watches in the world.
Yeah, that's a solar one as well.
Yeah, it makes a massive difference. But this one's.
Yeah.
I paid about $400, $300 for it in 2000. Still working.
I paid about €800 for it, and I bought that.
So it's a good watch.
I bought that when I was working in Europe, so that was 2016 or 17 or something when I was.
Oh, right. So you bought that in Switzerland, probably, did you?
I actually bought it in Austria. So.
Yeah, Austria. That's nice. Was you in Innsbruck? Yeah. Was you in Innsbruck?
I was in the capital, but I bought this.
Vienna.
Yeah, Vienna. I bought this and an Omega, but the Omega is a 1966 model, which happens to be the year that I was born. So that's why
you bastard.
So I bought that. So as well,
you're going to have to show me that Omega. I love Omega. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I'll be home.
Was it an expensive one? Was it like a?
I think I paid about. Don't quote me, but I think it was about 13 or 4. No, about €1,000, I think.
Yeah. So, and when was that? In 2000.
That was the same time as I bought that. So
so that's a nice watch. Good morning, Robert. It was only a test. I come on to test my equipment because my microphone wasn't working. Apparently it's working now. So, I'm having nightmares with my equipment. I've come to the conclusion I might have to spend some money, which I don't want to spend. I ain't spending money. Unless I'm going to Peaky Blinders, then I'll spend as much as I want.
Hey, Jake. Hey, Robert.
Yeah, so it was just a test. So what are you up to tonight then, Mark? Are you going anywhere?
So probably going to the club tonight. Went there last night for a swim and then out for a meal. So I'll do the same tonight. Go for another swim and then go out for a meal tonight.
Oh, really? Anywhere nice?
Well, we always go to a different. So the club's right in the middle of Melbourne, right in the middle of the CBD.
Okay.
So and Melbourne has a great restaurant culture, coffee culture.
Yes.
So there's always somewhere nice. So we always pick somewhere different to go.
Yes.
So it'll be by consensus. We still had some semblance of a democracy here in Australia. So,
well, even in Melbourne,
even in Melbourne, but you can see the sun hitting me on my head. It's 30.
Well, I can see the suntan. You're looking really well.
Well, that's what happens when it's 35 degrees every bloody day in Melbourne. So. And we've got a raging bushfire about 2 hours north of the city at the moment. So.
Yeah. Well, Gorgeous Thailand saying watches are a rip-off, but the watches that Mark is wearing and I'm working, these are classed as working watches. So they're watches which are around about $1,000 mark. So they're just, I wouldn't wear. You can't wear a Rolex in London because if you wear a Rolex in London, somebody will steal it off you. You will be,
Look, maybe they are. I haven't bought a new watch for a long time, and I'm not planning to. I like the watch because
it's a good-looking watch because I've seen that in person.
Yeah, it was functional because I travel a lot. When I bought it, I was still traveling a lot with work, so I could click of a button, I could go to the next time zone. You preload up your time zones.
Yeah.
Each to their own.
Yeah.
Americans, they might want to collect guns. English might want to collect stamps.
Boy, I collect silver coins.
Australians, they might want to collect dead kangaroos on the side of the road. I don't know. Each to their own. You know what I mean? So they're not. They're definitely not a status symbol for me at all. I liked it because it was functional. I did like the Omega. I always promised myself that if I could ever afford to it, I would like to buy an Omega watch, and so I did. And I've got a Longines that the company got me when I retired because I clocked up 35 years for the old company before I went contracting.
Wow.
So I've got a few, and I've got an old one that I inherited from my grandfather that my grandmother gave my grandfather on their wedding day. So
right, okay, that's nice.
That's an old Tissot as well. So
okay. They're lovely watches because that's the same. You've got the same watch as my lawyer in Spain.
Oh, okay, yeah.
My lawyer wears the same watch as you, and he's a big swimmer like you. He swims a kilometre every day. And he's a really good guy. He's a really, really good guy. So
I feel naked without my watch. I don't know why. When I was young, when I was on the tools, I never wore any jewelry, never wore a watch, never wore a ring because I worked in extremely high voltage, and so you never wore anything metal. But then when I became a manager, back in 2010 or something, when I went to the dark side and became management, I started wearing a watch because I had board of directors that would make sure that I was on time. So I started wearing a watch.
Right. Okay.
Now, even when I was
yours has got a resin band. That's the one with a resin band, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because the other watch, which was the other band I had, which was a cloth band.
Yes.
Because I wear it swimming and I wear it, I only ever take it off to sleep.
Exactly.
I replaced the band twice because the cloth started, because inside, I didn't realise it, was like cardboard. So it just started rotting away. So I went for the resin band, which was still like 120 Australian dollars for the band.
Yeah, it's a nice band though, that is.
But I put that on before I came to Thailand. So.
Yeah. Robert doesn't wear any jewelry or watches.
Yeah.
But he's retired, you know. He's totally he's got no time issues at all.
Yeah, I've got a.
I still have time issues because I have to pick my daughter up from school.
Yeah, I've got a few piercings, but this is probably a family orientated show, so I'm not gonna show you where those piercings are.
Yeah.
Our English guests will know if I say a Prince Albert. I don't know if the American guests will. No,
I don't know anyone who's got a Prince Albert, but I'll tell you what, those people who have it, Mark, I tell you what, they've got some bottle, right? So I can say.
Oh God, all right.
You know.
Yeah.
You know. I was just about to say something. Lucky I didn't. I had somebody sink their teeth into those areas once, and it was quite painful.
Look, I get what you're saying, gorgeous George. I've got a couple of other watches, Longines and Tissot's and Omega. And if I take them to be serviced, right, the cost of servicing one watch, you can buy, you can fill up your car for $100 worth of diesel and get a free watch. For the cost of filling up the car full of diesel, you get a free watch. So anyway.
Yeah, like these, but ours are work watches, aren't they? So I get mine serviced about once every 10 years, and to service my watches, that's $100. As you say, it's a full tank of petrol. So
yeah,
you know, but it's when you're working, it's different, isn't it? When you're working, you need a watch because you're working to timelines, you know.
Yeah, you do, and it's just there you go, So I don't know.
Yeah, I might have a situation like when I was working in the supporting or in the field. A call controller might phone me up and say, how's the server build going, for example. And then the first thing I do is look at my watch, because I'll be saying, well, I started at this time and I'm expecting it to finish to that time because you're not looking at the time on the PC. You always go by your watch in your hand. So
yeah, and like I keep looking at it now because it's 2:00. It's knock off time.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, because the awkward thing for me was when I was working in the UK, because I used to do a lot of work for the United States Air Force bases. So they've got Air Force bases around the UK and the southeast. And I used to do the IT support there. So if I was working on one of their servers, their server times are based on America, not on Europe. So
this is where I get confused when I come back to Thailand, because when I bring the work laptop over there, it's got a VPN, so everything's set for Australia time.
Yeah.
And then you look at my watch, which is set for Thailand time, and currently because of daylight saving, it's 4 hours out. So I sit there at like 4:00 in the morning, which is 8:00 here, and I'm going. My mind is very muddled at that time of the morning, trying to work out whether I'm early, late for a meeting.
Timing is a killer for me. So the only way to do that is before you come is turn off your settings for the auto time. Yeah.
No,
but it makes no difference. They know you're here anyway, don't they? They know where you're working from.
Yeah. No, I leave it. I leave the VPN on. So, but when you've got meetings that are scheduled and you get the reminder, you think, oh shit, I've got a meeting in 10 minutes. Oh no, I haven't. It's in 4 hours time.
Oh, okay. So when you come here, when your time automatically updates to the Thai time, doesn't it adjust the time of the meetings?
No, because the computer is locked on Australian time.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because everything goes through the. So VPN
basically, you need a clock above your window. You need a clock with Eastern Australia time, or whatever it's called.
That's right.
Because you're in Eastern Australian time, is that correct, Mark?
Correct, but we are currently an hour ahead of Queensland, because the only state on the eastern seaboard, and there's only four. There's Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, and Tasmania, Canberra in the middle. We apart from Queensland, we run 4 hours in front, because we have daylight saving where Queenslanders don't. So I think it's the end of March, or nearly the end. I think it's just after the Melbourne Grand Prix. Is that we go back to 3 hours, and then there's 2 other time zones. So South Australia's half an hour behind, and Perth is currently running 3 hours behind us at the moment, which I think they dropped back to 2 hours behind. So
I have to do a whole new advert for the show when that happens, because it's safe for the UK time.
Yeah,
I can't stand it. I can't, because I have to wait till 11 o'clock at night to ring my mum. I have to wait here till 11, and normally I'm asleep at 11.
Yeah.
So I only ring her once a fortnight, and I've been having massive family dramas in the last fortnight. If my sister's listening, I don't talk to my sister.
Right.
No, I've got nothing against her personally. It's just better if we just don't talk. You can't like everybody in this world. I mean, my sister. There's 6 years between us. We just don't get on.
Yeah,
so I've blocked her on all my phones. I've blocked her on all my social media. I've blocked her on Skype. I've blocked her on every profile I've ever got. And last week, my mum rang me from the UK to here in Thailand, first time ever in 2 years. And she's gone, "You've blocked your sister." And I said, "Well, Mum, to be honest with you, I did tell you. I said, I did tell you I don't like her. So I've blocked her and I've just moved on." But she's crying her eyes out. I said, "Well, I did tell her if she sent me a snotty email or was disrespectful towards me, that was the consequences. She broke the rules. I just followed through with what I said." You know, and I've got no intention of ever talking to her as long as I've got an hole in my arse. And if she wants to talk to me, then I suggest she goes for a lawyer, because I've got no interest in talking to her.
Well, what's that old saying? You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family.
Mate, seriously, but people, you know what you were saying? I always remember you saying this, Mark, on one of the live streams somewhere. Can't remember if it was on this channel or on Dave's. But you said, whenever I write an email, and I know it's going to be like controversial, before I send it, I'll sit there in the office till 5 o'clock, go home, sleep on it, go back, read it again, and then read it again before I send it.
Exactly.
So it's just, because most people, if you fall out with somebody, just cut them off, don't talk to them, and it's easier. Just move on, don't you? So, But my sister going to my mum crying, physically crying. This is a grown woman of 56, going to my mum and crying her eyes out, saying, "He's cut me off." Well, sister, I've got news for you. You're not in my will anyway, so don't worry about it. But it is hard when you're living like so far away from Thailand and from like your home country. That is the most difficult bit.
Oh, look, I spent a couple of years not talking to my brother. I've only got one brother, which then affected my relationship with his daughter, my niece.
Yes.
But before I, retired the first time, back a couple of years ago now, we patched things up. But are we close? No, I haven't seen him since his daughter's wedding back in January, and he sent me a message for my birthday last week. So he lives an hour and a half, 2 hours away, and maybe I'll get across to see him in his new house, and maybe I won't. But I mean, we've always been very independent of one another anyway. Yeah. So if he wasn't my brother,
is he older, Mark, or younger? Is he older or younger?
Younger. Yeah.
How many years?
2 years, or just slightly less than 2 years, about 18 months, 19 months.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we all come from the same parents, but unfortunately, sometimes we're just totally different people, Like, I'm a total minimalist, whereas my sister, like, she's the secretary of the golf club. She hangs around with all these hooty-tooty people with, like if one goes out and buys a brand new car, they're all going out buying a brand new car in the same week. If somebody's buying a house, the next one's buying a house. It's like the keep up with the Joneses culture, as I call it.
Yeah.
Look, and we're just so different, and we're different politically as well, because she's like that, and I hate both sides. So
if we grew up in America, you'd call my brother a redneck. So
yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with it, but
no.
You know, he's carved out a successful career for himself. He's had his own heavy trucking company. You know, he raised a beautiful daughter, and
exactly.
So
it's like my sister. My sister's been very successful. Been very, very successful. Good luck to her. You know, she's worked for it.
Yeah,
she built a business and sold it.
Yeah, you won't find a harder worker than my brother, but we are diametrically opposed on many, many, many things. So but he's
one of mine though. One of those different things is breathing.
We're not that bad.
When she goes to my mother and starts whinging because I'm not talking to her, that's when it gets that bad. You know, because I just don't need it really. You know, it's like.
So what's that?
I actually asked one of the guys. I said, "Do you think I'm being wrong?" I explained to him what the text said to me. You know, and he went, "No." He said, "You know, people shouldn't send you text like that when you live so far away. You know."
Mm-hmm.
And they know you're not going back, you know. But one of the places, when we get back to normal travel and Utapole, they're going to increase the international flights there, Mark.
I've been reading it, and I love that beach. Just going back to that beach, I love that beach down there.
Oh.
That beach is deserted down there. We let the dog go. It runs and goes crazy, and you know you got kilometres and kilometres and kilometres of beautiful beach. Sometimes you see a bit of rubbish, right? I'm not saying you don't, but the majority of it's fairly clean. Always clean.
Well, you're lucky,
I think it's because
you
said, and I think that's the thing. So
not having no clay, but that bit of the beach down there is really, really nice because what you do is drive down to Pala Beach, So you go and then turn right and just carry on walking. So you're walking towards Utapole.
Yeah. So we drive down the Sukhumvit, and where you go to where the start of the motorway is, you can turn there and you go on the arsehole side of Eastern Golf Course, and then it's a straight run. It's like 10 minutes from home, 15 minutes.
So when you get down to the very front there, so when you drive down that road, you come down and you got the Sea Oaks, turn right, and carry on going down to the end there. Because if you carry on walking down there, the military base is along there, isn't it? I'm not sure. I haven't. They got security down there, or because the planes take off down that way, don't they?
Yeah. But it's a long way to where we walk. You see the planes, and I grab my, Flight 24 radar app type thing, and I go, there's Air Bangkok flying to Phuket or somewhere, wherever they go. But you do see lots of C1. This will be one for Jake. You see lots of C-130s flying in and out. So
well, Jake's Robert's just he's got to get back to his packing stuff. But thanks for popping in for my test this morning. So it was quite good. It was quite a good test. I've got my microphone now working.
It works.
Oh, there's Chris. He's back. Hope you got some pants on.
No, I don't actually. That's why I'm not doing the camera. Camera's off for a reason, mate.
Good morning, GP.
I've got to keep flipping over because I bought myself a new phone, but I've got to flip between the chat and the picture. So I've just got to go back to see who's on and who's not on, who's talking. But it's a big screen phone now. Now I don't. Now I can read texts a lot easier and look at pictures a lot easier and watch movies easier and all sorts of things easier. So,
GP's heading to Japan shortly. Oh, nice.
Good one. Yeah.
It's a bit expensive for me.
Japan, it is expensive, but it's still on my bucket list to go. But
yeah, I'm actually fancying going to Melbourne. I really am. When travel goes back to normal, I think it could be one of the first places I actually fly to, Melbourne. Only because it's quite cultured, isn't it, Mark? It's quite cultured down that way. It's quite
we are not Queensland.
What's it called? Colonial. Colonial, is that the word?
Very cultured. We're not Queensland.
I was thinking about going up to Queensland for the laptop bars.
I wouldn't know.
No?
Although they have sexy parking meter girls in Queen on the Gold Coast. That's they're always nice.
That we do.
They walk.
Seen them in years.
They walk around putting 20 cents in the parking meters for you. So.
Jake's asking, how and where is travel not normal any longer? What mine is if the rules change, Gator. Because I was one of the unlucky guys who got a false test and ended up being put in hospital for 14 days, and I've done 21 days quarantine. And being a straight person all my life, I've worked all my life for good companies. I've never done prison time. I've never been in prison. Doing 14 days in hospital isolation, and it was isolation. I didn't see anyone for 14 days. I didn't see no doctors. I didn't see nobody. 14 days. They just locked me in the room, and that was it. I am literally got a phobia about flying now.
Understandable. I get it.
I've actually got a float because I just don't trust governments to change rules. But I don't think travel is back to normal. No.
Well, it's not back. From me, who's since April last year have had 6 international flights, travel for me is back to normal.
Is it back to normal?
So,
yeah.
Well,
and it could be, but I'll just give it a while. I'm not in a rush to travel.
It is a little bit more expensive, I'll give you that, especially when I came back October, November and December. I had 3 flights in 3 months. They were very expensive flights, but I come back in 35 days, and that's a round trip of about $1,300 or $1,400, I think, which is, look, as Chris knows, we used to fly a lot cheaper from Australia to Asia than $1,400-$1,500 round trip. But I think it is what it is nowadays, and you just gotta suck it up.
Yeah.
So
a Gator saying, didn't it cost you 50,000 K in the hospital bill? No, the hospital bill was 554,000 Thai baht. And the insurance, if I'd have told the insurance company I was sick, they would have paid for it. But I wasn't sick, and I can't lie. So it's just, I just can't do it. I think it's like bad karma if you lie. So by telling the insurance company you are sick and you're not, so they pay for it. Then 2 weeks later you have a fucking heart attack. And they say, well, to be honest with you, he was sick 2 weeks ago. He now had an heart attack. It's cheaper to let the fucker die.
Yeah. The thing about bullshitting is you've got to remember what bullshit line you started with, because in 5 years' time, someone will remember what you said, and if you can't remember, you get caught out.
To be honest with you, though, the total move of coming over here and the relocation and everything else, it probably did cost about 50, including that. So I won't be surprised. I know Mark spent over that. So
from Perth to Melbourne, you can ride a Harley, but you're going to need some support vehicle, Joe, because across the across the Nullarbor Plains, the Nullarbor Plains, what's the longest without fuel? I think it's about 800 or 900 kilometres without fuel.
Yeah,
now, can't be that long because cars make it.
No, it's 360 something.
360, but there's nothing there. There's just nothing there.
Actually, now there's a whole bunch of signs on the side of the road that are trivia questions to keep you awake.
Oh, fuck, mate! And I think it's the longest straight section of road in the world.
It is,
and it's not even undulating; it's dead flat, and it's just.
Is it just desert both sides? Is it just desert both sides?
Yeah. And if you drive after 5 o'clock in the evening, mate, you are. It's the zombie apocalypse, because every kangaroo in the world wants to jump through the windscreen of your car, and if you've got a 7-foot red kangaroo weighing 130 kilos trying to jump into the front seat of your car.
Hello, Tim.
Yeah.
Well, I follow a YouTube vlogger called Max Zanocky. I don't know if you've ever seen the channel, Australian guy.
No,
Max Zanocky. Well, Max Zanocky, he used to be with a beautiful woman, and she committed suicide. She was a vlogger. They had a channel, and they had over 500,000 subscribers. And because of the trolls, she actually sat in front of a train and topped herself at 31.
100 k's an hour, Tommy.
She was a beautiful, beautiful woman. She was unbelievable woman. Well, that channel, that Max Zanocky, he's been down in Perth, and I couldn't really make it out because he went round Perth and then he went down the southern tip and come round a bit.
Down to
and he's just released another videos, but he's back in Victoria. Because I take it there's not a lot in between.
There's nothing. There's nothing. I've camped out there on the Great Australian Bight fishing, and I'll tell you, beautiful fish that you can catch there. But you are very, very, very remote. If you don't have everything that you need for a week away, you will you can't go anywhere. Medical, if we were staying, we used to camp down where the dingo fence meets the sea. And the closest medical or closest pub or closest anything, which is Ceduna, is like 2.5 hours to Ceduna. There's just nothing in between. It's
sorry.
Go on, Chris. Go.
No, I was going to say I quite a few guys that go camping out that way, and they all carry these days a sat phone and an EPIRB, even if they're on the beach. It's the only way. Like, you bust a leg up or something like that, and you're bleeding out internally into your leg. You're done for.
I broke my not broke it, but I pulled about a 5 cent. Well, what's it? A nickel, a 5 cent piece, small coin, off my ankle bone when we were camped there, and I didn't get to see a doctor for 3 days. So, and my leg was my ankle was like a football because my mates are going, fuck, it's the best fucking fishing we've ever had. We're not fucking going back to camp now. Not going back to. so I just was lucky I had a couple of bottles of Jack Daniels. So I sat there and just was in a constant pissed state for 2 days until they finished fishing. And then they took me to the hospital in Ceduna. Ceduna just put a back slab on me and said, "Oh, you be right, mate." Off you go. Alice Springs is nothing between Adelaide and by the time you get to Alice, except for Cooper Pedy and Whyalla. And Alice is not a very nice place at the moment. It's
a rat hole.
And you can't buy alcohol in Alice Springs at the moment. They've just put a ban on it. So.
Kids run rampant. Can't put enough box in the place. Trash in the place.
Really?
Yeah. So they had the local indigenous population. They get on the piss, and then they just crime is absolutely rampant there. So the Northern Territory government and the federal government have said, right, stop beer, stop alcohol sales. So for all those people that do the right thing with their alcohol, there's plenty there. It's boredom and it's drugs. There's nothing to do, and that constant red sand, it drives them crazy.
Wow. And it's like one of the great modern wonders of the world, isn't it?
Uluru.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ayers Rock. Yeah, look, that's still a couple of hours drive to go from Alice out to Ayers Rock.
Yeah, but it'd be a shame to go all that way and not have a beer when you're looking at it at sunset.
Yeah.
If you like big red rocks, yeah.
If you like big red sand dunes.
Yeah.
I'd still go. But you've got to. It's a beautiful part of the country, but you are in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking that Gator Jake, Alice, where the fuck is Alice?
Yeah, I think what they say up there is they say, where the fuck is
it's just up the road from the big US Air Force base.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Is there a big US air base there?
It's called Pine Gap.
Really?
Yeah. And
so it sounds like it's been there since the 50s, is it?
Yeah. And it's basically American sovereign soil. They have the Marines guard it.
Same in the UK.
Yeah. So,
and the surveillance there is basically covers the whole bottom half of the planet. It's
really?
Oh yeah, talking major surveillance. All the satellites, everything is done out of the bottom half, below the equator is done out of Pine Gap, because there's nowhere else to put any of this stuff. So it's just like, yep, we're just taking this bit of land if you don't mind. And
it's not actually an Air Force base,
no,
Jake. It's a secret spy base, but the Americans share Tyndall. At the moment, there's Tyndall, which is up near Catherine, which is just south of Darwin. There's about 5,000 or 6,000 Marines there. You've got those Osprey. Are they called Ospreys? The tilt planes. Mm. There's a whole lot of them, and they're currently going to extend the runways to land the what's the big bombers they've got? B-52s. Yeah, B-52s. They're going to operate out of Tyndall as well. And I think there's also Americans on over at Townsville Air Force Base as well. But I know there's a huge American presence in the Northern Territory. Northern Territory.
Yeah, they got a massive presence in the Europe and the UK as well. But as I say, they're in the UK. They say they're RAF bases, but they're actually American run. So. So when you go there, you go to security. You have to get out your car. You park your car in this like shed, and you have to get out your car, and you're locked into a room while they totally search your car. And then you're, if it's somebody like me, even though I was there for 8 years, I was always escorted everywhere I went with a guy with a firearm. He always had a firearm. It wasn't a rifle. He had just a handgun. But that was always really nice. That was always really pleasant. Those cool guys. Because they get to know you after a while anyway.
But Google Pine Gap. It's been, we've had Midnight Oil singing about it since the 1980s. So I've never gone. I've gone as far as Carter Judah, and that's still a couple of hours from Pine Gap. But everybody in Australia knows about. What's the old saying? They're over here, they're overpaid, and they're oversexed.
So where the base is? Has it got any towns nearby or anything? Towns?
No.
They've got everything on base, have they?
Yeah, they're in the middle of base. They're in the middle of nowhere. They're literally nowhere.
They got one big airstrip that'll take C-130s and stuff like that, because they bring all their own stuff in and out almost on a daily basis. So they have nothing to do with the rest of Australia. They're completely self-contained.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Not even the Australian government knows what goes on behind the other side of that fence.
So they're literally flying out, and no passport control, nothing, because they're just flying into their own base.
Yeah. Look, I don't. Yeah, I suppose because they're leasing the land from Australia. So look, I don't know how all that works.
On the leasing in the UK, I think the Brits have just given it to the Americans rent free. I don't think we actually charge them.
No, because I think it's part of Australia and America have been pretty tight since World War II, and it's all about information sharing. I mean, the CIA and the FBI working with our spy agency called ASIO and our federal police. I mean, there's a lot of cooperation. I mean, Australia is in bed with the Americans and the British over nuclear submarines. We were a signatory, and we put in millions and millions of dollars into research for the F-35. strike fighter. So we were one of like 6 countries. America says jump, Australia says how high. So I think we've got a working relationship with the Americans, and I think that whatever information they glean from their spy agencies is shared. I don't know how much they share, but is shared with the Australian Federal Police and local law enforcement agencies in the states and territories. So,
yeah,
I'm being attacked here by my cat.
Yeah,
I just got attacked by a cat. I can't believe it. He's drawn blood. Honestly, I'll throw him back out in the streets if I wasn't so horrible.
I find it quite ironic that we give like $500 million worth of aid every year to Indonesia, which is our closest country, and they whinge and bitch to the UN about Australia having strike fighter aircraft and nuclear submarines, and then China are really pissed off about it, and yet China have nuclear submarines themselves, but no, you can't have them, Australia.
No. Do as we say, not as we do.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same in Europe in those private jets. If you got a private jet, you don't pay travel tax.
Yeah.
If you travel on a normal airline like all us guys travel in, we will have to pay travel tax. It's crazy. It's like one rule for one rule for another.
Yeah.
Always away.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust that Russian technology because it doesn't seem to be doing too well in bloody Ukraine at the moment.
My uncle was in the RAF here, which is the Royal Australian Air Force, and so when I was a kid, young teenager, he organised a flight out of one of the local Melbourne Air Force bases, Point Cook, and we went up in a Hercules, and all I remember was going, "It's loud."
Well, Tim in the chat, his dad, he used to work in Lakenheath, which was one of the bases in the UK. Tim was born in the UK.
Yeah.
His mum's from St Albans, very beautiful. Not St Albans, from St Edmunds. Bury St Edmunds. Sorry, Tim. It's been a long time since it's been in the UK. The memory's going.
Gone.
Join the club.
Yeah. Try it out tonight. Blackout. No runways, lights. Oh my God, no. I'm not a great flyer anyway, so a lot of me is I just don't like travelling. I don't like going the other side of the Sukhumvit if I can help it. If I stay this side of the Sukhumvit all the way around to Pattaya, I'm happy. You know, like when you get to the other side of the Sukhumvit, it's a whole different world out there.
Yeah.
You know, it's my wife's going up to the jungle for about 3 weeks.
Actually, speaking of aircraft, I saw a funny, well, not funny it was it's a guy that he's a 747 pilot, and he's got his own channel and that, and someone sent him a video of one of the many airports around the planet where you can actually, basically park your car, or you can stand at the end of the runway and these things just take off literally over your head. And there was a 747 freighter that lost a wheel on takeoff. And those things, like they're half a ton of wheel. And this thing comes barreling down, just bouncing over the people on the beach, and we're like, holy crap. And he says, that's why the photos look pretty, but you really don't want to be there because bits fall off occasionally.
Well, there's a whole cottage business that's set up at the end of Melbourne's north-south runway. It's obviously on the other side of a road and out of the airport, but there's donut vans down there, there's hot dog vans down there, and there's families that sit down there and they park, train spotters, I suppose you call them, and they take their kids down there and look, here comes Air France, here comes Thai Airways, and but I don't know if they ever get the jet wash. I don't know. Like you see those photos and those videos. Where is it? Phuket Airport? And is it St. Moritz or somewhere where people get blown over?
St. Martin. something
is
like
it
that?
Saint Martin? Something like that. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, where everybody gets blown down the beach.
Yeah. I don't think that happens at Tullamarine. So
no.
But they do sit there as the plane comes down. The plane's obviously quite low because they're just about to touch the ground. But
that's it. Yeah.
You must be looking forward to coming home, Mark.
Yeah. So looking forward to it. It'll be a month this trip, and then I'll come back because I have to renew my visa in July. So low power mode. It sucks the power out of these phones. Then I'll come back in July, probably back again in October. But they're talking about sending me to the Philippines in June, so we'll see what happens there.
Oh, brilliant.
Cool.
Yeah.
You just get a weekend flight over here then?
Yeah. So, but it'll be just they're building a train line out of Manila, and so the company, the Spanish company. So,
hello, Daz.
We'll see what happens.
Daz's ears must be burning because he also used to live on England. He was born in the UK as well.
Oh.
and his dad was in the RAF air base as well, like the American air base.
Well, Daz looks like a proper English gentleman, so I can see him done up with a bow tie and a bowler hat and a cane as he's walking down the street. So
I was going to say it's all in the shirt, mate. It's all in the Daz shirts.
It's so funny walking into a restaurant with Daz. Seriously, you kind of walk into a restaurant with Daz because we're all quite big. We're all walking in and they're looking at us and they're thinking, "I hope these guys are not going to cause trouble."
More likely, they're probably hoping, "Oh, geez, I hope there's enough food in the fridge."
Oh yeah, if it's a buffet. We don't eat that much at a buffet, really. We really take our time.
That's where I met him. That's where that was Jake and Daz.
Yeah.
What was the name of that place?
Casa Pascual.
It was too. Yeah.
They've stopped doing the buffet.
Have they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a group of nationals over here at the moment which are.
Is that after Daz was in there or not?
Sorry.
Is that after you and Daz cleaned the place out? No, joking.
No. What they was doing, Mark. Apparently, because they don't give you some places you go into, you get a time thing, like you got 1 hour, 2 hours, or whatever it is. This place, you just went in there. So they was going in at 11 o'clock, but they were staying there till 2. So they was having their breakfast and their lunch.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, no, that's taking the piss, mate. That's taking the piss.
Yeah. And apparently some people were stealing food and putting it into containers and taking food away, blah, 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 etc., etc. Gorgeous Thailand. How long have I lived in Thailand? I lived in Thailand for 2 years, back in 2008 to 2010, and I've been living here for another 2 years now, basically. I'm just coming up to 2 years again now. So I've lived here twice for 2 years. But I'm not going anywhere at the moment. I'm staying. I've got no need to go.
I'm going to sign off, guys. I'm sitting in this little atrium here. I'm sweating like a piggy.
It looks like you're in a prison.
I was going to say,
work is a prison, Tom. Work is a prison.
It looks like you're sitting on the pole backwards.
No, it's a little. I don't know what you can see, but I don't know.
Oh wow!
There you go.
Wow.
There you go. How do I get out of that? Yeah. What's that? So there's my little atrium.
That looks really nice. You got like, is that a courtyard?
Yeah, little courtyard, little atrium there, and the sun just streaming in. And it's cooking me and it's 34 degrees outside, and it's about 90 in here.
Yeah, it's Tom. We got the Peaky Blinders. Of course. Yep, Jake. We definitely got the Peaky Blinders. We always got the Peaky Blinders. It's the only place to be. If it's the YouTube meetings, no, I won't be at the YouTube meetings. I'll be honest with you, they just don't do it for me. I'm into eating, not into bars.
All right. Thank you, Tom, for allowing me on. Chris, good to see you. Everybody
pleasure
in the
as
chat.
always, Mark.
Yeah, mate. Good catch, mate. It's been a while.
Hope to see you all at one stage or another when I come back to Thailand. So this is my last year of my contract. So it's almost, as I said, I've just done my performance review. I gave myself a 10 out of 10. My boss said, "You do it. I'll just sign it." How good's that? So,
I like it.
All right, guys. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Have a good one.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah, that's the temperature. See you later, Mark. Cheers, mate.
See ya.
28 indoors.
Yeah, it's comfy. It's about 26 in here with a light breeze.
Oh, yeah. It's nice, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna have to bail out soon myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bail out soon as well. I'm just gonna have a look at the what's it called? Thai baht. So have a quick look at that, see what that is. Yeah, let me have a look at the Australian one first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna share the screen if you want to see it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Share screen. Entire screen. There you go. Share. And let's close down the advert. Here we go.
Oh,
it's looking good.
Starting to climb.
It's looking good. Starting to climb. Starting to go towards
bit of green.
Bit of green. Let's hope. Let's get on this.
Oh shit! Hang on. I got an incoming call.
That's right, my friend. So the charts. Well, to me, this is looking like it's in. Oh, take cash at 23.6, I'd say. And let's go to the US. Let's go to the. I've got that in there. I've got it in there.
Yeah, Tom, I got to bail off, mate.
Catch you later on, my friend.
Got a call. It's going to take a little bit to sort out, and we'll go through the charts again soon. Yeah.
See you soon, mate.
Okay, mate. Cheers. Cheers, everyone in the chat.
And this is it's the 1 day. Let's have a look at the 1 month. Yeah, to me, you're right. Yeah, if you're cashing out this month before the 1st, I would take the money now. That's telling me to take the money because it's bobbling along. It's got to break. It's bobbling along at the top here. It can't reach the top, so that's got to break to the south, I would say. So whatever the rate is at the moment, it's 34.6. Yeah, I would take the money. But if I'm not coming over to March, I'd wait till next month. Yeah, that's it really. Yeah. Where is it? So going back, I can. I'm off the chart. What do you mean you're off the chart? Don't understand. Nightbot, blah blah blah. Yeah, 34.56. Yeah, I would take that at the moment. But it all depends where you're coming. You're not coming to the end of March, Dad, so I'd wait. The markets are so turbulent at the moment. I'm just looking. Gator said something about. Yeah. I just want to say to next month because there's just a lot going on in finance. You could cash it out now. You know, it's down to personal preference. You know, but the way I'm looking at the moment, the S&P 500 is looking really bad for the next month. So if you think the S&P affects the Thai baht against the dollar, then take it. I'm not. I've already exchanged my money earlier on in the month, so I won't be doing it again until next month. Looking at that, yeah. So sorry, I have to look up there because that's where the screen is. Yep. No, Gator like me. Like if Jim and Meow, it's normally like me, Jim, Meow, John, AJ. Who else is it? Gary. Gary comes, but Gary's he doesn't like going on the YouTube or anything. You know, he just sits here quietly, enjoyed his retirement. Great guy. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. If you just convert each month, you're just cost averaging. It's going to sell. Okay. So what you saying then, Joe? You saying if you was coming in March, would you change up your money now, or would you wait? I know that's it's like asking you to give financial advice, but what do you think, Joe? What do you think? Myself, see, I transfer money over every month. I do it on the up of every month. So if I show you a month's chart, which is like here, I think I transferred over money here at 34. I transferred money here at 34.5, which was not at the highest, but I was happy with that. So if I'm happy with the exchange rate, that's what I do. So, simple as. Joe, what do you think? Do you think, Joe, that it's worth taking the money? If you're coming on holiday in March, would you cash up the money like today? I think it's going to be some really bad market news really soon. These banks are looking terrible, Joe. Bank of America looks terrible. It's going to be like a domino effect on the rest. You know, I think all these financial indicators are all coming back to the Fed now. And that's why they're saying they've got to increase interest rates. Yeah, exactly. I'm the same as you, Daz. Like, generally speaking, I bring the same over every month. So I'm bringing over between 3 to 3,500. But mine's different because I've got Anna. Anna cost me a fortune, school fees and blah, blah, blah. And also I've got my Peaky Blinders allowance as well. So my Peaky Blinders allowance is not cheap. Especially when the wife wants to come. It's outrageous. You know, took the wife to Peaky Blinders this week, and I don't drink, but she does. And yeah, we come out of there with like a 3,000 baht bill. I said to her, "You're not coming Friday. You got ironing to do." Thanks, Mark and Chris, for popping in. Any other questions? Done the charts. I say the US dollar to the Thai baht. To me, it looks like a sell at the moment. So if I can get the rate, I don't want to put it on that. If I go into Wise, let me go into Wise. Just check with Wise. What's Wise telling me? Wise. $34.25 they're offering Wise at this exact moment. Fed chasing interest rates, but slower than inflation until they put the interest rates lines above CPI. I'm totally agree with you, Gator. Totally agree with you. I thought that was Joe commenting on that, doing that, because we're on an anti-curve, and this is the trouble. They can't increase the interest rates. It's killing the rest of the world. It still looks like July for me for Thailand. Oh, brilliant. That's good, Joe. Hopefully, I'll keep my fingers crossed with Joe, because I know you have to keep on cancelling your flights. So it's a bit awkward. I stocked up this month with more precious. Is in brass and lead. Yeah, got to have it. Yeah. There's no secret, because I'm pretty open about my investments. All you guys know I'm a big gold investor. So this last week, I cashed out 3.2 kilos of gold. That is the first gold I've ever sold since 1980. Ever. I've never sold not even 1 ounce. Since 1980, I've never sold an ounce of gold. Yesterday, last week, I sold 3.2 kilos. And the reason why I've done that was just to generate more cash. So if it all goes tits up, I've also got cash as well. You know, and also as well, the reason why I've done it as well, because I see that there could be some buying opportunities. So the way I see it is, if you buy out, sell out like 3.2 2 kilos of gold now. And if the market crashes, gold will go down with it. Then for me, that's a buying opportunity to go back in and buy gold at the bottom and let it ride back up again. For me, gold, for me, all the way. No point holding cash in the bank. Yeah, correct. Yeah, but what I'm looking at, gorgeous Thailand, I don't really know you, but what I do know is with gold, what I'm looking at the moment, I'm also looking at platinum. You know, I gave out a call on Monday about platinum, and I looked at that and I thought, fucking hell, it was at 9:20 in the week, and I was talking to somebody. And I said, oh, that's a buy. But I had too much going on with my gold at the same time, and I just couldn't concentrate. But that's going up the right way because I think platinum's really undervalued. I love platinum. I've got a new Trump for 220. Yeah, let's go, Brandon. Yeah, why not? Yeah, let's go, Brandon. Hello, Chris. How you doing, my friend? Oh, Chris, your videos are fantastic. Absolutely, you've got to go and see Dishing Corporate's videos. They're unbelievable. I'm sure everyone's a subscriber of Dishing Corporate. His videos are unbelievable. Him and Greenie in Vietnam. When are you coming back, Chris? We're going to Peaky Blinders tomorrow. So I converted 2 million for. That's what I like about Chris, his sense of humour. His videos are unbelievable. And you fly back tomorrow, so you're going to miss Peaky. Never mind. I'll give you a text in a week. I'll let you know when we're dining. Hello, Thai Nomad. Stay there as well. I can't see Thai Nomads. Oh, there they go. Good morning. I didn't see you there, Thai Nomad. I'm really sorry. I wasn't ignoring you. Seriously, I haven't blocked you. So you're fine. Like I've gone through my list and you're definitely not on the block list. So you're fine. Oh, she's flying tomorrow. That video, Chris, you've done with the train. Oh, that is so funny. That is so funny. That is the best video I've ever seen. Oh, if no one's seen that video, I'm going to try and find it because unless you want to throw the link up, Chris, to it. But this is the funniest short we've all done shorts. The one Chris has done for Vietnam is hysterical. Is like. And I think YouTube are choking you at the moment. Is that correct? From what I can make out, because you're just not getting the views. There you go. So this is right. I need to go to Chris's channel. And Chris, when you went past that prisoner of war camp, my God, that was quite really haunting. That was shorts. But this video Chris done was very, very funny. If I can find it. Why can't I find it? Oh, it's terrible when you ain't got a touchscreen monitor. I'm used to working with touchscreen monitors. Because I'm a cheap Charlie, I didn't buy them. Oh, where's the train one, Chris? Oh, please put a link up for the put a link up, Chris, for the train video you done, the short, because that was hysterical. That actually made me really, really laugh. It really cheered me up when I saw that. You know, I showed the guys when we were sitting at a dinner table and they was all choking on their food. This is Chris's channel. Oh, I really wish I could find the train one. Why can't I find it? I've been watching it all. I've watched it over and over and over again because it's so funny. Anyway, this is Chris's channel. you can find the train one, Chris, then it's the short there. Yeah, that short there that's the goat. I don't know how many views you got on that, but if you've got anything less than 12,000, I think it's a joke, because that is the funniest video I've ever seen. Gary, one of our dining partners, who you know very well, he was gutted. I showed him the videos she was doing, and he said, "I really wish I'd gone to Vietnam." So you might have a travel buddy there, and he's very much like you. Oh, no sound. Hello, no sound. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Sound. Ah, okay. So I can hear you. All right. Thank God for that. That's why I come on here originally, because my sound. Yeah. Well, you had a good time, Chris. Ah, good. Yeah. So, gorgeous Thailand. Do you live here in Thailand, or do you live in Europe, or gorgeous Thailand? I would imagine you live here. I've seen you on Dave's chat. So, yeah, I live in Payun Beach. I live in Bang Chang, in wonderful Rayon. I love it here. It's very rarely I go the other side of Sukhumvit if I can help it. So the only places I go from here to Rayon, down to Lay Mei P, Samet, Ko Chang, and then going the other way, I go Satahip, and I go Bang Saray, John Tiem, and Pattaya. That's the only places I travel to. Ah, nice. Last October. It's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. If you're retired, got a good pension, it's great. You know, it's a lot of guys probably like yourself probably got a great pension. You know, I live here on my investments. So, but I never really ever worked for a corporation or anything, or government or anything like that. You know, I was always pretty much a freelancer. But I've always saved. I've been saving since I was like young. I've always saved, and I'm so glad I have, because if I hadn't have saved, there's no way I could have afforded to retire. You know, when you look at, say, coming to Thailand, some guys come into Thailand, you know, in their 30s or 40s and think they can stay here forever, and maybe they can, you know, but I hope they've got a lot of money. Yeah, 33 years, same company. So hopefully, if you had a good pension on that, you'll be fine.